That time of year again. What's up, gang? What's going on? It's your commissioner, Leaky Leak, aka the Dundada, Big Meech, coming at you with the week one wrap up of the Dirty Dozen Fantasy Football League. The football season is here, y'all, after months and months of waiting and suffering through fantasy baseball. The fantasy football season is back, and it's time to fly, Eagles, fly. We'll get into all that later as my boys get ready to take on a hungry Baltimore Ravens team in a big-time matchup here in Philadelphia. But I digress. Got to get into the fantasy football stuff. Going to jump right in with a week one wrap-up as 12 teams did battle. 6 came away victorious and 6 not so victorious. Starting it off right now with the San Antonio Show Nuff champs. My man, Sam Hilliard, one of the great football minds of South Texas. Wasn't great enough, though, as his team got whooped 131 to 103 and some change, give or take, by the Gridiron Gangsters. My man Carlisle Peak, who's one of New Rochelle's finest financial and business and international, whatever he does, international finance minds. Also pretty good in the fantasy football world, too, as the Jets defense led him with 27.8 points as he whooped Sam Hilliard. After that, we have Every Rose Has Its Thorn. My man Dave Larderi, Mr. Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show himself. Very funny individual, very quick-witted, humor, pun, lighthearted. Pretty good team, 115 to 82.3 as the Silent Assassin, the Real Husbands of Chicago, Texas, as the sharpshooting Mike Finley likes to say, got smashed. Demaryius Thomas led the, if you want to say that, led the Real Husbands of Chicago Housewives with 18 points. Wasn't enough as Larderi laid the smackdown down. The game of the week, if you really want to go to that, I got to say, I'm cut from good cloth. Fantasy minds run in my family. And my dad, the Q-Town Cats, Harold Johnson, the sports phenom himself, after picking, I don't know if I want to follow that up with this, but after picking Jimmy Graham with the number 1 pick, fooled everybody. Obviously knows what he's doing as he put up a league-leading 156.4 points, snatching victory from the claws of Mr. Mojo Rising. And you got to see this guy's hands. Once something gets in his hands, it ain't getting out. But he lost. He put up 140 points, which is quite impressive itself, but lost 156 to 140. I got to see some of these scores, man. As I said, my pop picked Jimmy Graham with the number 1 pick. Hey, you like him? He likes him. But anyway, Mojo Rising, Drew Brees, 30 points, got 18 from Pierre Garçon, 18 from Matt Forte, but that's going to hurt you, Will, because he has a high ankle sprain. Didn't look too good walking off the field there. 15.4 for Sean Green. The Bears defense, I'm not surprised Will has them. 24.3. Solid effort, but Matt Ryan, and Julio Jones, the double-booble, hooking up for 68 points combined. Jeez, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones doing big things for the Q-Town Cats. Jimmy Graham, the number 1 pick, chipped in with 15 points, just about 14.5 points. Solid effort from the running backs McFadden and Martin, and the Eagles defense got 4 interceptions and 2 sacks en route to 22.6 points. That's the game of the week, and that's why they call it fantasy football, because you never know what's going to happen, but 156 points is quite impressive as the Q-Town Cats take the top seed in the league after week 1. The Brooklyn Boys and the Tro, they got into it, and the Brooklyn Boys finally made a draft this year because I didn't schedule it on Labor Day weekend. Put up 134 points to the Tro's minuscule 97.3. It sounds like a radio station, not even a fantasy football score. Tune in to Mix 97.3. Anyway, Team Brungola, as usual in his quiet ways, won again, 106.5 against Team Bust Your Ass, who made the draft. Now that it wasn't on Labor Day weekend, 98.9, another FM radio score. Nothing really much to say there, but Michael Vick did score 22.2 points after having a subpar 3 quarters of football. So Brungols 1-0, and then we go to the homeboys, Takeover and Victims Aren't We All. I really don't know why Tim named his team Victims Aren't We All. Maybe he's anticipating a bad season. And it started out that way in week one as I beat him 103 to 99. Two more FM radio scores. But I don't care. I'm 1-0. And the Texans defense led me with 25 points. Top scorer for Team Merlin was Jay Cutler, who didn't look too good last night. Actually, speaking of which, Thursday, is that all? That's all the scores. Yeah, that's all the scores. Speaking of which, Thursdays, this year, all season long, Thursday night football is kind of like a monkey wrench in the program as far as fantasy football rosters go. But you got to set your lineups by Wednesday tonight, because if you don't set it by Thursday, you can't do it on Sunday. It'll bite some people in the behind, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about it. But all season long through December, there's a Thursday night game, Sunday night games, and then a Monday night game. Got to have your rosters in by Wednesday night or Thursday by game time at the latest. Good luck to the rest of you going into week 2. Got lots of action coming up. As I said before, 6 teams are undefeated, 6 teams are winless. We got the Q-Town Cats and the Takeover, father and son, doing battle. I'm down 13-6 as it is right now. Mr. Mojo Rising looking to right last week's wrong, taking on Timmy 28-21 currently. The Tro and the Gridiron Gangsters, 0.7 to 0.6. Don't even need to report that. Brooklyn Boys and Show Enough Champs, 13-0. Brooklyn Brongola is down 8 points to Every Rose Has Its Thorn, and the Real Husbands of Chicago, Texas, and Team Bust Your Ass are set to do battle with the Real Husbands of Chicago, Texas, leading 2.4-0. Have lots of fun with this. Definitely stay involved. Send out all those trade proposals and answer them in a timely manner if you can, fellas. Feel free to chime in on the message board, and I will see you cats in a couple of days. This is your commiss, Leak, signing off. Peace.